There was a lot of celebration to be had in the Palestinian camps around Lebanon throughout the day, really, as there was a lot of expectation that this ceasefire was going to be signed tonight. Indeed, we did get that news, and that is when even more celebration broke out. We were in the Burj al-Barajne Palestinian refugee camp, which is quite close to where we are standing now in central Beirut. There were fireworks, there was celebratory gunfire. There were young children giving out little pieces of candy. There were flags all over the place. There was music. There was dancing. There was, as I say, a lot of cause for celebration. But I would also say that a lot of people here are proceeding with cautious optimism. And some actually say that tonight isn't necessarily cause for celebration because, of course, a lot of people around the world, including here in Lebanon, have family members and have loved ones that were killed by Israel during this war. And now I think as the bombs will start to stop dropping, that is almost a moment for pause, and people will have to look around and really see for the first time all that has been lost. At least that is what some members of the Palestinian community here in Lebanon have been telling me. I would also say that there is a lot of cautious optimism for two reasons, and this is very particular to Lebanon. Number one, when we got news of the ceasefire here in Lebanon, and with that ceasefire, I'm referring to the one between Israel and Lebanon and Hezbollah at the end of November. When we got word that the ceasefire was going to be implemented in a few hours, the time between when that deal was announced and when it was actually implemented was these were some of the most violent hours of the war that we had ever experienced. And so a lot of people are wondering if the same is going to be true in Gaza. It was announced tonight, this ceasefire, not going to be implemented until Sunday. And so a lot of people here are wondering what the days to come in Gaza are going to see, if it is going to be very violent, as again was the case here in Lebanon. We also do know, of course, that there have been multiple violations by the Israelis when it comes to the ceasefire that was brokered between Israel and Lebanon. And when I say multiple violations, I mean hundreds upon hundreds of violations. And so when I was talking to an analyst earlier today regarding what she thought about if there was going to be a ceasefire brokered, she said, number one, of course, we need to see if both sides are even going to agree to it. Of course, they now have. But then the second thing is we need to see if the Israelis are going to stick to it. And if it's going to be the case, if Lebanon is going to be any example, then obviously it's not necessarily the case that they stuck to it. It is, again, the case that this is a ceasefire that has been brokered, there have been violations of this ceasefire time and time again. And so there really is this worry here in Lebanon, particularly among the Palestinian community here in Lebanon, that it might be just a little bit too early to tell if this ceasefire is going to be successful. And again, just what the coming days are going to look like regarding the Israeli violence in Gaza before the ceasefire is implemented on Sunday.